So we really haven't talked since the episode where we had Josh Goins on here and talked to him about the whole short stopping flooded corn thing. And since then, his face is just everywhere.
I know.
It's everywhere. And have you, what were, after that episode and talking to him, did any of your thoughts and opinions change? And kind of where are you at with the whole uncut flooded ag stuff?
I think like the only thing that really changed for me is like I think I have a better understanding of adaptive harvest management. And I think I align a little bit more with you on that probably than him. You know, I'm still staying where I stand on corn. I mean, it's not so much about, for me, it's never been about the flooded corn or the unharvested corn as much as it is just corn in general. You know, I still think it has a huge impact on the way the ducks interact with the landscape. I think it's changed. It's changed a lot. I mean, you look 1,000 years ago, they didn't have any corn on the landscape. Now you have millions and millions of acres of corn on the landscape.
Now, are you talking flooded or just corn in general?
Just corn in general. I think that's mainly where most of the influence from the corn is, just the corn in general. I think that the flooded corn concentrates them, and I don't particularly like that as well. And I also think then you have the conversation of, is the corn necessarily good for the ducks? I don't think we really have that answer yet. And if the answer is long-term, not really, then should we be incentivizing them to use it by putting water on it? I guess that would be my question. I still have more questions than answers when it comes to corn. I was just really happy that you brought Josh on so that you could allow an alternative perspective to be heard. And I think it's important that we allow all voices to kind of, you know, converse and
right.
Everybody can kind of give their opinion and do it in a cordial way. And I think that you were able to do that whenever you brought him on. And I think he did a really great job explaining his position. And you know, people are free to believe what they want. And I think that's the wonderful thing about America, is that everybody can, you know, has the freedom to be able to speak and say what they believe. And then we can interpret and we can have our own opinions and that sort of thing and have that conversation. I just think it's really important that we do it kindly. I think that we need to be amicable whenever we,
well, that's not happening.
I know that's the part that frustrates me more than anything, because I think that the biggest threat to waterfowl hunting is us fighting each other from the inside, because there's a lot of people out there that want to take away our privilege of being able to duck hunt, and they love nothing more than to see us fighting amongst ourselves. So I think we all got to kind of lower the temperature in the room a bit and understand that the person that is flooding corn in Missouri is not the enemy of somebody in Louisiana. And the person in Louisiana that feels like his heritage is being taken away from him is not the enemy of the person that's flooding the corn in Missouri. Yeah. We're not enemies here. And we need to understand that we're all on the same team, and we need to start acting like it. That's my opinion.
I wonder what % of flooded corn is in Missouri. I think about this as a Missouri issue. And I know there's some in Arkansas and Tennessee, but I'm just guessing 80% of the flooded corn's in Missouri. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I don't think we have the numbers, but I feel like this is a Missouri issue.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. There's a lot of flooded corn all over. I know it's expanding. You know, there's more and more flooded corn popping up everywhere. I would just like. So
where all do you think there's, like, you go up and down the Central Flyway, there's not a whole lot. There's a decent amount there's some in Southeast Kansas, but it's a small little section. You go up through the Dakotas, Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma. So Central Flyway, it's not really a big thing. I don't know of any flooded corn in Kansas outside of the Southeast zone. That doesn't mean there is not some somewhere. I don't know of any. And we have strict water rights and you don't have shallow marsh gun clubs in Kansas like you do in Missouri. You just don't. So it's Missouri. Illinois probably has a decent amount. Tennessee. It's really right up and along the Mississippi. Do you think I'm missing anything?
No, I think that's where the highest concentration of it is for sure. I don't study it that much. You know, it's not something that I go to sleep thinking
I
about.
don't think we know. I don't think there's anyone. I don't think we know.
Yeah, who's surveying that? You know,
Right? Who's surveying it? They don't make private clubs report it or anything. So, I know if you listen to Goins, like they come up to Missouri and it's like it's flooded corn for miles and miles and miles and miles. I know I've been in Missouri a bunch. I've never seen that. I don't know. Maybe they're talking around St. Louis. I don't know.
I don't know.
But
I've passed through and seen a lot of corn. I mean, a lot of flooded corn. You know, but I didn't keep tabs on how much it was or anything. It's like I said, it's just not something that I'm deeply, just thinking about all the time. I'm a person that likes to control what I can control,
yeah,
and my voice has kind of been the same on this thing. I'd like to see studies on how that corn is affecting the duck short
yeah,
term and long term.
right,
I
yeah,
have my reservations about long term. I still think that you're slowly domesticating ducks is what I
yeah.
think we're doing, and they actually have studies that show that as well. I have some studies I could send you that points to the fact that we're slowly domesticating them, and I
Yeah,
don't know if
I'm
that's
with
good
you on
for you.
that. I'm with you on it. That I want the same things that you want. What I don't understand is I don't know a single hunter personally above Arkansas that's like, yeah, I think flooded corn's a problem. I think we should look into it. I don't know one.
Hmm.
And at the same time, I don't know one person that hunts a lot of flooded corn. Well, yeah, I was trying to think maybe Ben does, but no, he flooded timber. I don't know a single person that hunts a lot of flooded corn. There is something, and I don't know where it comes from, because before I even knew anything about the topic, for the last 2 or 3 years, we were joking around about flooded corn. Oh yeah, it's the flooded corn. It's the heated ponds. It was a joke. It was a meme. I had no idea where it came from. I had no idea the argument. When they said heated ponds, I thought they literally were saying that there was people heating water. So this has been going on in the Central Flyway where everyone just jokes about it, like these people are fools. And I had no idea of what the argument was. And so I don't know if it's a mismessaging problem, or I'm not quite sure and understanding why everyone above Arkansas is resistant to the argument. And I'm starting to think maybe it's because of how, from what I can tell, mostly people from Louisiana are conducting themselves on social media about it, is what's causing. And I think in order to get something done, they need, if a good portion or a decent portion of the northern hunters were on board with it and advocating too, that's going to get it much farther than alienating everyone out of the state of Louisiana and just becoming so annoying that everyone just thinks you guys are just kind of assholes. You're just kind of assholes, and you just run your mouths on Facebook, and I can put a reel on there about something completely unrelated, and you're still running your mouths about flooded corn. It's like become to a fever pitch annoying point that I think that the whole movement, if you need public opinion to help with the movement, they're losing. They're losing people in the north. Maybe not losing people in the south, but they're losing people if that's important to them.
Yeah, there's definitely a messaging problem for sure. I would agree with you there. I think just people are super emotional about it because I mean, Louisiana used to be phenomenal for duck hunting. I mean, it was so good, man. And these old men watch something that they love just slowly disappear
Right.
to a shell of itself, which it is now. And I just think people get so emotional about it. They want to be able to find something to point the blame at.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's not just as simple as just one thing. You have a lot of things going on right now, and they're all working against Louisiana. And so that makes people emotional. And yes, I agree with you. The messaging definitely needs to change. What we need is studies. I mean,
Yeah.
point blank. That's it. We need good science done, good studies done, and we'll know our answers then. And then once we get those answers, everybody's got to swallow their pride enough and admit that the science points to X, Y, Z. That's going to be the next hurdle. Are
my
people
dealing
going to
with
believe
humans
the
is
science?
my dealing with
You know?
humans says that's a tall order.
Yeah, because I mean, look, if the science points to yes, the flooded corn is affecting the migration significantly. If that's what the science says, then guys to the north have to understand that, like, yeah, Louisiana is mad about the flooded corn and they have a right to be. Then the next question is that good for the ducks that they don't make it far enough south? Then the next question is, you ask the Louisiana people, do you care more about the ducks or do you care more about hunting the ducks? And the other way you got to look at it is if the studies show that the flooded corn has minimal to no effect on the migration, it's all weather, then that's what a definitive study shows, and everybody in Louisiana needs to shut up and wait for it to get cold. That's just what it needs, and everybody that had an opinion needs to change their opinion. And if they're not willing to do that, they need to take a long look in the mirror and check their ego, because there's the truth and there's not the truth. I just want to know the truth. That's it.
I'm not sure everyone is as logic based as you are.
I don't know how. It's not that hard though. It's just
no, it's not. The thing is though, the only thing that's controllable is the corn. And so people, that's one thing, like if we can just get this one thing taken care of, then maybe the glory days can come back. It's like, because you can't control the weather. You can't control, I'm sure like production of rice and the amount of rice down south, I've heard is a possibility as well. But it's like, you can clutch onto this one idea of, if we can just get rid of the flooded corn, then maybe things will turn around. I think that's why it's clutched onto. And I'm with you. I think it probably is having an effect at some point. I don't see how it couldn't. It probably is. In Missouri, the two things that Goen said that affected me the most that no one's answered to is, number one, there's some Missouri Department of Conservation booklet that he was reading from where they were literally saying that their practices were going to shortstop birds. I mean, that's what they were stating was taking place with geese and uncut ag corn, I believe. But then if you look at the Missouri harvest numbers from like the late 80s moving forward, they've just gone through the roof. And the only thing that's changed, because not all that time has been warm winters since 1989. Not all that's been warm since that, but the harvest rate of Missouri has just continued to climb to a range that it's never been since they were recording in the 1950s. It's never been like that. Well, what's causing that? I mean, I think that coincides with a lot more flooded corn, so it probably is having an effect.
Yeah, well, definitely. I think it's definitely got an effect. Do I think it's the only thing that we need to change to get ducks to come back to Louisiana? No, I don't. I mean, everyone knows that it's not as cold as it used to be, and everyone knows we haven't had much snow cover in the Midwest in the recent years. It's been years since we've had major snow cover in the Midwest. So, I mean, all these things are playing a factor. And I don't think you're going to bring all the ducks back just by one thing. I know some people believe that, and I've pushed back on that. I've pushed back, talking to Josh on the phone. Now, he vehemently believes that if you eliminate the flooded corn, all the ducks are coming back. I've pushed back to him on the phone, talking to him about that. I said, I don't know if that's the case. But we just agree to disagree, and we move on. And Josh is super reasonable to talk to. I mean, I talked to him on the phone.
I agree.
We differ a little bit on what we believe, but I think overall, I'd like to think Josh is a force for good. I think he's genuinely trying to make a positive difference. And there's a lot of people out there that say they want to do things, but they don't actually put it in motion. And I appreciate him and have a lot of respect for him for actually putting it in motion.
Yeah, and I've talked to him on the phone several times. Every conversation has been a great conversation. We haven't agreed on everything. We've discussed it. He's been nothing but respectful. He's never been snarky. He's never acted. I mean, now, and I've seen him get attacked online way more than I've seen him do attacking, which was kind of the thing, is like, oh, the way he acts online. I've been watching, and yeah, sometimes he says some things that are snarky, but if you want to have a scoreboard at who's being worse to who, it's people to him versus the other way around from what I've seen.
It's kind of it's kind of like first term Donald Trump. Everybody was talking about how nasty he was being, but like, look at the way the media was treating him. Like, how could he not be nasty? Right. Well, that's kind of how I feel about Josh. It's like, man, he's public enemy number one for the guys that flood corn. So they don't like it.